Good evening and welcome to Passion for Life with Deirdre D and friends. Oh my gosh, I'm all messed up today. I am here with my friends and I'm Dee and this is
Hi, Theta.
I'm
Theta.
This is Dita. We're all messed up today. And I have some other friends here today. And actually, we're on another set. We're actually in Puerto Rico. I met a friend of mine, and we decided we're going to Puerto Rico today. But we're going to be talking about a serious topic, and it's all about cancer. Last week, Theta was here, and we talked about, what did we talk about last week?
Women's issues.
Oh, right. Thank you very much.
Health issues, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yes.
also I do have Body Mechanic over there, and we have Sandra. But I wasn't really going to introduce you all yet. But okay, well, I guess hello, everybody. We'll do that right now. So, but welcome, and I really appreciate everybody being out here, and we're going to be sharing some serious information. Last week we did the women's issues, and we got some stuff out there. Right now I realize that there's a lot of things that we touch upon, but we really actually need to expand. So it's just a little bit right now, and we're going to be coming with more and more and more. So it's really, really cool. So, Theta, how was your week?
It was good.
It was good?
Yeah, I survived.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I survived.
Well, we're going to have a new week, and it's going to be even better. And Sandra,
I had a great time.
you had a great time?
Mhm.
Well, because you're a new guest and a new friend at our table, I have to ask you, what is your passion for life?
Making money.
I hear you.
I mean, I've been out here for many, many years, and I feel that it's coming,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that I feel a passion for, it always works out.
Okay.
So my goal is to keep the wealth going, just like it states in the Bible.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I know that you also have some passion for the children, because you had expressed the fact that you love the children and you working with the children and what have you, and people in your family, and so that's a good thing. And money is definitely important, because why should we suffer?
Right. I don't believe in that method of healing. I believe that if you work hard and you save some, you might accomplish a lot of things.
That's right.
I mean, even if you lose all of your money, I've seen a lot of people lose all their money, and then someone like a horoscope person says, today is your lucky day. You ever read that? Someone sends you a text and say, today is your lucky day. And I said, really? Well, let me figure it out. She says, what do you want to know? More about love, money? And I always press money for some reason. So she says, your lucky numbers are, and she gave me these lucky numbers. So I said, I'm going to meet my girlfriend, this evening when I met you.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to play those lucky numbers. There's nobody on the line. For $1, why not? So then I'm reading all of these different ways, and I love math. So I said, oh, what would be the equation if I do quick draw, and that'll take a minute. And if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. Well, I won $450. And I text the horoscope person.
That was today?
No,
Oh,
a couple of days ago. That's where I met Dee, and I said, I can't believe it, but thank you for the numbers. You gave me $450. It's called positive thinking.
Well, I do believe in positive thinking because guess what? If you don't you're going to end up not really feeling good about yourself or around your surroundings. So positive thinking will keep your body strong also, because if your body is not feeling good and your mind is not feeling good, because your body has to and your mind does work together.
And the type of chemicals that's released in your body causes stress,
Yes.
cancer.
And that's
Or
what we're
make
going to
you
be
feel
talking
great.
about. And exactly.
Depends on
And
what
that's
it
what we're
is
going to be
that you
talking about today.
release.
Yeah, cancer, because cancer, we don't even know half the reasons why cancer is. So, body mechanic.
I just want to expound. Oh, well, I'm the biomechanic, and
We're not going to talk about your passion. We already know about your passion.
yeah, you know about my
Okay.
passion. But I just want to add something to what this young lady said
Sandra.
about your mind. And what's interesting is that most people don't even tap into even any of the possibilities. We have infinite possibilities in our mind. It's a matter of direction. Most people don't even know what they don't know. So, like when you meet someone like a psychic, you know, sometimes they could say something to you and make you think about something that you don't normally think about. That's all part of expansion. Anything is possible once we focus all of our attention on it. And that's what it boils down to. You take Martha Stewart, you can jail her and take away all her money, and in 5 years she'll be a millionaire because she has all these things in her mind. It's all about your mind.
Well, that's, as I said,
Yeah.
and your mind and your body does work together. So, and that's why we're here, you know, sharing about how your body and your mind and your positive thoughts will bring you positive,
Right. And your mind can change your body chemistry in a second.
yes. And well, our passion for life is all about teaching people to heal their body by just positive and putting positive things in their body, because right now we have so many things that are causing a lot of issues with our bodies, you know, with the foods and the environment, and so many negative things out there that are just so not cool. So we really have to be so aware of what's going on so that we can just keep our bodies in order. So that's why we're going to talk about cancer today. And you know, because there's breast cancer awareness today this month. And so we decided to talk a little bit about breast cancer, talk about in general cancer, because it's out there. You know, I know in my family it's been so prevalent. It's been my grandparents, my mother, my father. Like one of my cousins said, I inherited the cancer gene and the fat gene. Oh my gosh, you know, it's kind of crazy.
The cancer gene.
The cancer gene. Yes, it is genetics. You know, it's part of the fact that they have found that it can be genetically linked. You know, you don't know that part. You know, it's just about
They know about the
activating.
cancer gene, but they don't know how to stop it.
Well, the thing is, in terms of the cancer, what happens is cancer is in everybody, right? So what happens is it just gets activated, and if you get a blood source, then it's just going to start growing and growing out of control. So it's kind of imperative that you're feeding your body with the correct things. Right. You know, if you don't feed your body with the correct things, then you know you're going to have things happen to your cells that shouldn't happen.
Like you said, something triggers it.
Mm-hmm.
So outside source, maybe smoking, maybe over drinking, maybe your lifestyle, something that you are doing, or you could be feeding yourself something that you should not be eating.
Right.
And a lot of those things, it triggers an overabundance of your wrong cells to grow.
Yeah.
And become fed, and then you have cancer. A lot of times, this is just me speaking. I don't believe that it's somewhat hereditary. It's just that who we are around, we tend to do what they do. And so, like you could find whole families with a certain situation is because their lifestyle, what they eat, and what they're doing is all similar. So just to say, oh, let's just blame it on genetics. Whereas, you know, I said, I'm going to do something different.
This is true.
And then, so this person in the family is thriving, and the rest of the family is going north, south. You know. So.
I have an interesting theory. I think that when you sit in front of a doctor, because I've gone with many of my clients who speak to oncologists, when you tell someone that they have a genetic disposition, what they stop doing is seeking alternatives. I know this for a fact. that I have sent people places to have cancer cured, and it's happened. And most of those places are banned in the U.S. There are cancer treatment facilities in England, in Japan that have been curing cancer for 30 years. There is a state in the Union here that's been curing cancer for the last 35 years. And less than 10% of the population knows about it because everything is suppressed. So, you know, I question the thing about, I know, because we're taught that, you're taught that in med school that there are genetic markers, but I know that the body is really a very perfect organism.
I just want to say one thing.
Sure.
I feel that the body, if you do your body correctly, your body will be the temple itself that will cure it and staying, you know, because you're saying that they cured it, but they gave them the correct measures and the outs.
Nutrients.
And the nutrients
Right.
to help your body
Do its
Heal
thing.
it.
do
Itself.
its thing and heal itself.
But the thing is, I feel, okay, I disagree a little bit with you, just a little bit.
No, it's fine.
Only because I say, well, in terms of your family is genetically predisposed to have certain things, but yes, if you were eating properly, if your whole family perhaps, and I understand what you're saying, because what's happening is you're saying that because your family's eating a certain way, that's why they are predisposed, you know?
Well, that's
So
the first thing
it-
doctors ask you.
yeah.
They ask you your family history.
Right,
Because one thing that's the common denominator is what you eat.
yeah.
That's the constant.
And that will definitely cause the cancer cells to grow if you're not
Proliferate,
feeding
right.
it properly.
Right.
So the thing is, now, I know in my family, but I'm going to try, I'm breaking it. You know, I'm not going to claim that I'm going to get cancer. You know, even though my sister had cancer, my father had cancer, my mother had cancer, her sister had cancer, my father's, my grandfather had cancer, my grandmother, everybody's had cancer on my mother's side and my father's side. So the thing is, you know, I don't want to claim it, you know, so I'm doing things to stop it, you know, so I have to actually do a little more, you know, I'm a work in progress, you know, because of the sugar and all that, because I am addicted, you know, at this point. So, but I'm going to claim that, but
You're addicted to
I'm
sugar?
getting rid of it, yeah, I got to get rid of it. But the thing is, I'm using a lot of different supplements in my dietary supplements and what have you, and my medicinal plants, and I'm working on it. So it is a work in progress. So, you know, it's going to come. It's going to come, you know. So,
We're rooting for you, G.
yeah, okay, thank you very much. Because I'm not getting no cancer, not me at all. But I just know that, you know, in my family, and I guess it's because what we eat is bad, and what we've been doing to our bodies has been really, you know, like detrimental, because I was a smoker, my dad was a smoker, you know, all those things predetermined, you know, and my dad actually had lung cancer, and my mother both had lung cancer. Now, you know, but I had a grandma that was 101, so I want to hang out with my grandma that was 101. You know, that's where I want to hang, you know, but okay, she was really petite, and she really took care of herself. She ate her food right. You know, it was all the fresh foods and all that good stuff, you know. So that's what we need to do. You know, we start going back to basics, you know.
But there's a lot of trends that have been followed, and they noticed the proliferation of cancer when dietary policy changed in the U.S. So there are specific markers out there, and that stuff gets really pushed under the rug. But all the information is out there. It's really simple. You know, we will spend a lot of time learning about our vacation. We'll spend time in finding which designer made our clothes. But when it comes down to what makes our body work, most people do not know what happens beyond their mouth. As a matter of fact, most people know what happens in their mouth.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then when you want to explain things about dietary things to someone who has no clue about what digestion is, it's like speaking to a blank wall. But what should be, you know, taught in school is to get children to understand, because children take it very serious. They really do.
No, it's
Adults
true.
are inundated with all their activities, and they got to do this, they got to do that. And it's not until they get a pain. But the pain they have to have for at least 4 or 5 years. But when they buy that new car and they take it off the lot and they hear a squeak, they turn right around, take it right back to the dealer. If you get a new dress and it's got a little snag in it, you take it right back. But we get a pain and we're like, oh, well, it's just...
Yeah, it's old age. No, I did the same thing when I had.
It's a matter of priority.
Yeah. Well, you think it's just, like you said, it's just age. Okay, well, it's just a little pain. Oh, go away.
We're taught that, too.
Yeah.
We're taught that,
Yeah.
as you get older, your body breaks down. But when you actually give your body what it needs, it rocks. I remember about 8 years ago, I was in Canada, and I saw a 79-year-old cross the finish line of the Canadian Ironman. He'd been competing for 19 hours. When I saw that, I said, there's no excuse.
No, I know my grandma was amazing. My grandmother was amazing at 101 years old. At 99, I finally took her heels away. So anyway, we're going to have to go to a commercial, and so we'll be right back. Okay.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm Dee, and these are all my friends. So I'm not even going to introduce everybody on an individual at this point. So while we were away, we were talking a little more about the cancer and sugar and what we were talking about. So
And money.
she's talking about some money.
You got to help you make money.
Yeah, I know. No, serious. I was a vegetarian when I was in college, when I was about 18 years old, And I had to balance out. A lot of people don't like hearing the reality, but at work, since I have to deal with people and their finances, I have to enforce the law. So I have to actually put the reality in the brain. You owe the debt, please pay it. Let's make a plan. Let's be realistic. You know, all these little components help individuals expand their horizon when they're understanding. You spend too much money, but you owe a lot of money.
Well, the stress will mess you up too.
So-
Because if you're talking about stress, then I guess that would help with your cancer cells and all that kind of stuff.
But what I was trying to explain is like you're 18 years old, you have to juggle, you don't even understand, because if you have parents that have been giving, all of a sudden you're on your own. Well, I can do this. And you're 18. And I said, I'm reading Vegetarian Times magazine, and it says, if you like chicken with tumors, don't read this article. Well, you know I had to buy it and read it. Right there, I said, I'm never going to eat another chicken bone or whatever. I'm not eating it.
It depends on how it's grown.
Yeah.
Because if
But
go
at
ahead,
age 18, you're wondering finances versus this product that it's claiming that it has cancer cells.
Well, I'll tell you, I had a little cousin, and at 7 years old, I don't know whether she saw Mr. Rogers or something on that order, I have no clue, but she became a vegetarian, and she's a vegan now, and she's about 28 years old now, and has been a full vegetarian since she was 7 years old, because she realized what was going on. And, okay, she's one of my cousins, and her grandmother and everybody passed away, and actually her grandma was my mother's baby sister, and you know, with cancer, we were talking about cancer and the angiogenesis, which is actually the blood flowing into the cells, and it works the same as fat cells. You know, so my aunt was over 500 pounds, and because of the angiogenesis, so you can say she really had cancer of the fat, you know, because you know, her body stopped functioning.
Well, when you think about it, like, cancer is a rogue cell that develops a blood supply. Normal cells last how long? How long does a normal cell live?
It varies, but it generally is what, 24 to 48 hours.
It's not. No, cells don't live that long.
Yeah,
It's
they
like blood
don't-
cells
yeah.
live like 120 days.
Right, yeah.
The body's always regenerating itself.
Exactly.
So with apoptosis, cells die off and cells duplicate themselves.
Right.
Cancer cells don't die; they just keep
They keep
proliferating.
going, yeah,
So we just give it this
exactly.
name of cancer.
Right.
But the deal is, if your fat cells are being fed and they develop a blood supply and they're pulling nutrients from other living cells, that's the same thing. It's just a matter of what we call it. Whatever this person who discovered it wants to call it. It could be ransom, it could be calico. So we call it cancer. But this we do know. A healthy body does not usually come down with cancer.
Yeah.
So what we should talk about is what do we need to do to be healthy so we don't even have to think about being sick.
Yeah.
If you are consuming sugar, like there was a movie I talked about, Do the Right Thing, with Spike Lee.
Oh,
He made
yeah.
a very important point in that movie. He showed a container of Kool-Aid being made. The average black American family back in the 70s, you would get that little red thing with red dye number 2, which was toxic itself, just to color the dye. Then they would take and get this 2-quart container, and then there would go 2 pounds of sugar. 2 pounds.
Yeah.
So back in the 70s, average consumption was 40 pounds of sugar per annum, which was already too much. Now the average person consumes 200 pounds of sugar, average American. And we're talking about cancer? We got to talk about sugar. Sugar is the problem. That's what's creating the addiction.
Well, they had this movie called Fed Up, and I think you.
Oh, God, I
you saw
watched it the other day.
Yeah,
I did see
it's
it.
very, very serious. You know, Katie Couric did it, and it's very scary, in fact, because to know how the sugar industry has actually just
They've
it's in
targeted-
everything.
It's like a
you
drug.
know,
Well,
yeah,
you know what's
it's-
happened?
Yeah, yeah.
What they were not able to do back in the 60s or the early 70s was to market to children. So for instance, that supermarket is a death trap. It is designed to market
Oh, yeah,
sugar.
without a doubt. But you know what? To get back a little
Yeah.
bit onto our cancer thing. Okay. because I had some statistics, and in terms of they said in terms of the estimated new cases, the highest cancers in males are prostate cancer, and then in females it's breast cancer. And then in terms of estimated deaths, actually it was lung cancer for both females and males, which is amazing. That all this is well. It's environmental. It's because of your cells, or is it because of what you're putting on your body and what your food is? So it's like kind of crazy, And then you come down to what's colon cancer, and that's like the one right below that, So it's kind of scary, because in terms of the percentages, it's really big and high with the prostate and the breast for between men and women. And so why is that happening? It's like, I don't know, it's like, it is about the food, it is about, it goes all with the hands, hand in hand with the foods and the sugar and all
The
that.
intake.
Well,
Yeah.
it's coming from so many things. We put so many chemicals on our body, things that just, we have so many chemicals on our body now that did not exist 100 years ago. We use deodorants or parabens. Women shave their underarms. Their blood system is exposed. So we're just putting chemicals right into our
Right into your
bloodstream.
lymph nodes
Right
and
to your
what
lymph
have you,
nodes.
yeah,
And then
it's
you take
kinda
and wear a
crazy.
bra. When you wear a bra, did you know that a bra actually it cuts off circulation?
Right.
It makes your breast tissue produce prolactin. Same thing happens when you're pregnant and you're nursing, and it cuts down blood circulation. So if you get any parabens enlarged in your breast tissue, they actually mimic estrogen.
And then
Also,
you have
if
the
you
soy.
have- oh, sorry.
Well, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Also, if you have wired bras, the wire within there, and also the aluminum within, because I can't wear the underarm because I always have problems.
'Cause you should be wearing it.
Well, I'm just saying, I have problems. I know what my body does.
Right.
And so what I do is I'll take baking soda and put underneath
But you
there
know
or
what?
something.
You have to be
That
careful.
maybe not.
Well,
Maybe not
talcum
right
and-
either.
I was reading
Talc
and all that.
clogs
Those are all
Just as
really,
bad.
really
Just as
bad.
bad, yeah.
And those actually, they say cancer-causing
Right.
agents. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
all these people are putting the powder, baby powder
On
and
the
all that kind of stuff
babies,
on the
too.
babies, and you're like, oh my gosh.
And petroleum jelly. It's a petroleum
Oh my,
distillate.
it's so scary.
We are not thinking because we sit here and we watch the Idiot Box, and the Idiot Box says,
Tells us to do that.
petroleum makes your baby bottom nice and smooth and tender.
Yeah.
But I thought petroleum jelly was okay because it was just,
It's a petroleum distillate.
oh, that's true. Okay, never really
And you
broke
never
it
think
down
about
that way.
And what you put on, think about this. Babies now are obese at 6 months.
And that's-
There's
that's,
something, and no one's thinking about this, but when I did research on the 9 top leading baby formulas, the first 2 ingredients, and folks, you can check this out yourself, or you can go to the supermarket and look. The first or second ingredient is high fructose corn syrup, 48 to 52%.
Well, with all the
Which is
cereals
like drinking,
and
it's like the
everything.
baby drinking grain alcohol. It's
Yeah.
high fructose,
Yeah,
HFCs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's extremely scary.
So it makes it addictive,
Yeah.
and then the babies are regurgitating it, but let's get back to cancer.
What my mom used to do when we were children, she would take the grinder and take real food, real vegetables, and grind it up, and that's what we ate. We didn't buy baby food in our house.
Well, you were brought up in a nutraceutical.
Yeah.
You were.
Right.
Your mom was very open to doing the
No,
right
my mom
thing
knew
for you,
that if
you
someone
know,
is
so-
processing it,
Yeah.
there's a procedure to put things on the shelf. Like I know food engineers, and when they put food on shelf, it has to be able to stay on that shelf for 6 months, 12 months.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
people die; they don't even decay.
Well, and see,
Well,
when you look at the fruits, and they're supposed to turn brown after a certain time,
Yeah,
right?
well,
Yeah.
an apple is supposed to brown like within
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Right.
And or you have like
Pesticides.
all those kind of fruits that are just hanging out and they're still like nice and supple and looking good.
Pretty.
And wait a minute, why aren't they kind of starting to rot a little bit?
Well, there was a chemical that was used about 20 years ago. They inject into the tree, and when it was designed so when the apple falls from the tree, when it hits the ground, it doesn't bruise. So like I had an apple that I got from an organic place 2 weeks ago. I cut the apple, left it out, and the next morning it didn't even start turning brown yet.
So it's supposed to be
So it
organic.
didn't even oxidize in the air. That's because how it was produced. I'm telling you, this
So
chemical is supposed to be banned in
but
the
they're saying
U.S.
it's supposed to be organic, though, right? But see, then what are we doing? You know,
No, that apple actually was not from that.
It wasn't.
No,
It wasn't
It was
organic.
from upstate.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was an organic apple.
I don't know what it was.
Well, the
it
thing
was a
is,
Franken apple.
it's so you really have to be aware of where you're going to get your foods and where you're shopping at. You know, what kind of people, you know, are you dealing with, you know, and then if you eat out, you know, what are you eating, you know, because now you're eating all kinds of toxic foods and toxic waste. And
People cut corners.
Yeah, oh, yeah. They're taking really chances
Well,
with their
the
lives,
economics,
you
they cannot
Right.
afford
Yeah.
a healthy life.
know? Yeah.
At least they're assuming in their brain saying, I can't afford this. But they can afford a cell phone, but I can't afford a
Oh,
good
yeah.
apple.
Well, they can go and get their
That's
nails
it.
done
Right.
and what have you.
They're led to believe that they can't afford it by people who produce inexpensive food. But the deal is this: when you eat real food, you don't even have to eat as much. When you eat food that's void of nutrients, you can't eat enough of it.
Yeah. Well,
You can eat McDonald's all day, you're still hungry. You get a whole McDonald's meal, and an hour later you're hungry because there's no nutritional value at all. It's all been stripped out.
But
That stuff
I've-
doesn't need to be refrigerated.
I have tested out the energy level, like sometimes at work. I'm tired, but I have to, you know, take a break. And when you're interviewing people, they come in many different shapes and color, and, you know, the people are different. They come from different cultures. I feel like this. I don't feel like eating every day. Some people think I'm strange. I said I'm vegetarian. I know how much intake I can take from my body, and I'm going to have just a bottle of water.
yeah.
But I drink it slowly. Every time I feel like I'm hungry, I'm going to have another glass of water. But that's training, because I have everybody around me just eating and enjoying, and you know, they're like, "Are you mad? You better go and order something."
Well, you have to eat the right foods, though, and like
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back into my salads, but then you have to really prepare your own foods. You really do, because I'm so bad with that. You know, it's like I will go and get me order a salad over, and who knows what they're putting in there, what kind of foods are they using, and what have you. And I'm like, okay, but that's a little more healthier than going out there and getting the burger over at the McDonald's or whatever. But it's still not, because you really don't know what kind of foods they're using.
Well,
It's
I know
scary.
this. When I eat good food, I know when I feel good.
Yeah.
And I know when I have energy.
Yeah.
And just to touch point on not eating, what happens is, one thing that no one talks about, and doctors don't talk about it, well, they'll say something like, well, maybe you're not sick, maybe you need to have your head examined. Because I can tell you something. When the body does not get nutrients, when the body is under duress, a lot of biological functions are suppressed. And that's what happens when you don't eat. Your metabolism slows down. Even brain function is challenged. Your ability to pull up thoughts. Your brain is always needs glucose or
Yeah, you have to have
ketones
a
to
certain
function.
amount of-
So if
yeah.
you don't eat and you're taking that stuff in, your body will pull it from the fat stores. But your body needs fuel.
Yeah.
You know, you need fuel. I mean,
A nice glass of nice warm water.
well,
a lot of
well,
people are
that's-
into give me
water is a
cues.
great as a catalyst for all functions, but it's not going to feed your energy
Excuse me.
cells.
Well, we're going to stop right here for
Yeah.
1 second. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
No, okay. But
Excuse me.
we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Stop the truck! Stop the truck! Please. Thank you.
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
This is Beth.
Hi.
Oh, congratulations. When are you due?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, look at that. Excuse me.
You're totally thin.
You look very sexy.
For life's bleachable moments, all it takes is 3/4 cup.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm Dee, and these are my friends. So we're here talking, and I think we got off track a little bit. So I know food is so related to one of the causes of cancer, but maybe we can.
Not according to Western medicine.
Oh, okay.
Right. Am I right? I don't know. Am I?
Perhaps, but then there's also environmental. Well, Western medicine has their own way of thinking, so it's kind of scary because of the fact that, we have to kind of conform because of the fact that we live here. But yeah, if you go to Europe and to Asia and what have you, it's amazing. They have such
the facilities that they have.
Well, they have less cancer. They don't have all this toxic toxicity, and they live a simple life, you know, and they eat
True.
healthy, they eat raw foods, you know, because the raw foods are better for you, you know, they don't have the pesticides, they don't allow certain things to be actually out there at all, you know, so it's kind of scary, to say the least, you know, but you just kind of say, okay, well, we're going to do the best for ourselves, you know, and so, you know, I know that I have been, and you know, I am a work in progress, and you know, I think most of us are trying to do the right
to figure
thing,
out
you
the
know,
best way we can, yeah.
and that's why we're here trying to give that information, you know, so.
Or just trying to spark interest so that people can take control of their lives. I mean, it's like, like when you walk out every day, it's like a battlefield. You walk out, you have toxins that you're breathing in, you're drinking toxins, you're bathing in toxins.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk for 5 months about all the bad things. Yeah. So what you have to do, I think, is supercharge your body so that when you walk out into this minefield, you're literally, you know, ironclad.
Well, that's why you should take supplements that are going to help you. You know, you have the food, but then you have a lot of supplements out there, nutraceuticals, pharmaceutical, non-pharmaceutical, phytochemicals,
phytonutrients,
nutrients, and what have you, that will actually help you, you know, heal, well, not heal, but, you know, protect your cells, you know, and work on your cells from that cellular level.
Right.
So it's amazing. We have a call. Okay. Hi, welcome to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends. Who do we have on the line?
Jean Smith.
Hi, Jean. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Good, good. What are you going to share with us today?
Okay, well, I'm just calling because I've been listening, and the body mechanic, he said something earlier about knowing your body and getting to know yourself. I agree with that a lot because that happened to me. You have, to me, sometimes a doctor don't know you. So I believe that if you know there's cancer in your family, because unfortunately I had a lot of cancer in my family also. So certain things as growing up, I just learned about my body. And there was a time that if I didn't know my body, I may not be here today.
Right.
Because doctors kept telling me, oh, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing wrong. I finally did find a doctor that found there was something wrong, and he caught it early.
Okay.
So I just think what he said, I agree. You have to know your body.
Yes, yes.
And if you know that there's illness in your family, then take the next step to prevent it. Because, like, unfortunately, my son, he knows the cancer runs in my family, but he smokes.
Right.
I'm trying to tell him that's not good. You know, cancer runs in our family.
Right.
I hope he don't have to learn the hard way.
Well,
so, you know, I just wanted to give that thought out, you know, that's what I feel that, you know, sometimes could help you.
Well, we appreciate that. And, Jean, you're correct. You know, it's very important that you look and try to share with your family, your son, and that, you know, certain things, and educate. It's all about the education. So I really appreciate you calling in and sharing with you.
Can I ask you a question? How old is your son?
21.
21? Yeah, it's we know our family histories. We know what our family histories ate, and it's funny, you know, similar thing happened to me. Like diabetes, hypertension, lupus, all these things ran in my family. And when I changed my diet, I literally have none of those things. I don't even have an aspirin in my home. You really are what you eat. Even though your son smokes, if your son had a pristine diet, the smoke would have minimal effect on his body.
But don't tell him that.
No, right. But you understand what I'm saying, right?
No, I understand.
It's all based on your immune response.
21, he's not eating as well as he should be, because you know, my home, we don't eat pork, and when he's out, he eats pork.
Well,
we just don't, you know, we just feel it's just not healthy. But he's 21, so I hope as he grows, he learns to eat proper and certain things. Just not, you know, I'm not like a red meat eater. And I was, trying to teach him these things,
Wow,
but...
This is like, you're touching a lot of things. We need like 4 shows for this.
Well, you actually, are you using any nutraceuticals or phytochemicals or phytonutrients at this point, or introducing any of those things into your life?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, well, yeah, I happen to know you, right?
Well, if I can make any tip for your son that'll really help him, at least protect him a little bit, if he is taking hot showers and he's a smoker, it's a deadly combination because he's taking in chlorine into his lungs without being filtered through his stomach. So he needs to keep the temperature
he's the
down.
shower taker.
I bet he is. So
Yes,
what he needs
he
to
is.
do, he needs to keep the temperature down in the shower. There should never be any steam in that shower booth because it becomes a gas chamber.
Okay.
They gas the Jews with
Interesting.
chlorine gas.
Anyway, we're gonna go and
I'm just putting it out
but
there.
just
Okay,
like
All right.
thank you so much.
introduce.
You're welcome.
Thank you for calling.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
If I may piggyback on what she said, it's a true life story. I was walking around. At some point, I couldn't even walk. I was in so much pain, constant pain. I went to specialists. I went to doctors and more specialists. They told me, it's all in your mind. So I said, this is not in my mind. My mom told me to go to this iridologist, and she would tell me what's going on. Our iridologist, everything that's wrong with your body, it shows up in your eyes. So, and it's not nothing creepy or anything. So she told me exactly what was wrong with me, change my food, stop eating certain bops. I won't say on the on here, but I changed my diet. She fed me with all kinds of herbs. I mean, nasty herbs. I drank it. I didn't care. I drank
'Cause you
it.
wanted to
I
get better.
ate it. I didn't care how much it cost. I took it all in, and I'm been fine ever since.
Well, I know that a lot of people have used, the natural herbs and different supplements that have actually put their cancers into remission and just changed the whole, actually put them into non-existent. The cancer
Right,
doesn't
exactly. You
come.
got rid of it,
Got
right.
rid of it. You don't say cure, but because it's still there. But if you start to go back to the same bad habits, you're going to end up having the same issues again. So you have to really be much aware of what's going on with your body at all times and continue once you start to change. Just because you feel better doesn't mean now, I can go back to my bad habits.
No, I'm not doing that.
But yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, in terms of the treatments of cancer and all that kind of stuff, they do have the radiation. I think we touched on that. We have chemotherapy. We have a lot of different things. Now, I know that a lot of times they have used radiation, chemotherapy. There's some other
laser,
things, laser, yeah, surgery,
and organ removal.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, my father, he had cancer of the mediastinum, and they found it so late, and it was so sad, And by the time they found it, it had migrated into his probably into his spine because he came out of a procedure and he came out paralyzed. But my mom, actually, they found a lump in her lung, and they were able to just take part of that lung out. And I started giving her some of the beverages, the noni fruit, and she didn't even know that she was drinking it. I had her husband giving it to her every day as a tea, and you could see that she just actually was able to, she started walking, doing a whole lot of stuff that she never used to do. And actually her husband had prostate cancer. And the fact that, you could see the fact that, using the nutraceuticals and the beverages, made him feel so good that he was out there shoveling this year, So it was like, wow,
Excellent.
But, it's challenging, it's really challenging because when you have all what's going on with your body, it's so scary, because it's out there and you really have to try to, combat and just use certain things that will make you feel better,
But your body's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And if you just meet it halfway, if we
Yeah.
just did a little bit of research or just did a little bit of preparation instead of making everything else a priority until we get sick, we would live better lives.
Well, you have to listen to your body, and I actually started listening, and because you do hear it, you know.
It talks.
It
Every day.
It does.
Every day, all day long, your body tells you, I'm tired, I feel lethargic.
Yeah.
You know, but we forget what normal is.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna take one more break, and we'll be right back.
Guys, ready for the show? Yeah. Enjoy it.
Welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and friends. And hi, friends.
Hi.
What's up, D?
Hey. So we have only a few more minutes. So
Big topic, D.
Yeah,
Cancer's
yeah.
a huge
I
topic. That's like part 1 to 20.
And you know what? We've been talking about some real big topics, you know, and it's like really crazy. So I know I'm coming back. I got to come back and share more about the cancer and share more about the autoimmune and the women's issues and you name it.
Because they're all in the same bucket.
Yeah, it is. It's all about, you know,
It's all the
just
same
feeding your
bucket.
body and listening. You got to listen, you know, because when things are happening and you don't listen, you just kind of let it go, and then it blows into a big old mess.
I don't know.
It's crazy. I know because I've done it.
I like the analogy, you know, people got a nice car, they pull up, you know, you got to put some don't put the regular gas in my car.
Okay.
Put the high test premium in my car. My car ain't gonna work with that. And they're sitting there eating a jelly donut.
I know, exactly. You're feeding your
Look
body.
at the fake jelly
you
up
know?
Yeah.
You feed your body, you know, and you feed your car better than you feed your body.
That's what I'm
You know,
trying to
you
say.
feed your
But
car
I'm
better.
constantly doing that to people in my job. I'm always saying, excuse me,
Have a glass of water?
didn't you just say you was on a diet? And they're like, just today, just today. You ever hear that phrase?
Yeah,
It's just for
yeah.
today.
Well, you know what?
But next month, I'm going to just break it down.
Yeah.
I said, I've been watching you for 17 years. 17 hard years watching you. And they're like, you know what? You're ruining my lunch. I'm changing my schedule. I'm like, thank you. Wonder.
Well,
Saving
thing
them
is, but
is
sometimes
hard.
they-
You hear what they
They're
say?
not
You hear
ready.
the- hear the response?
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
appreciate it.
No.
But they, you know what?
But
When
I
you get
haven't
sick,
given up 17 years.
Don't you ever give up, sister.
I have not. I'm vegetarian. I'm always telling them you could have had this instead of that. And then I bring the lunch in. You know, my lunch is very basic, whole food. You know, I try my best to give them a great opportunity to eat good. I say, well, I'm willing to share a half a sandwich so you can see the difference.
The person
Well,
has to want to change. If
that's
they don't
it.
want
You-
to
But
change,
it's hard.
they can't-
It's
they're not
hard.
You
gonna
can't
do it.
change
Why are you
anybody.
drinking
Right.
soda?
But see, the thing is, you can't really tell people what to do. They got to be ready.
They-
like
right.
They gotta be ready. and they have to feel they found
It
it.
doesn't make any
Ego.
sense to go
It is.
there.
I
you
think
know?
it has a lot to do with their mind. Their mind has been already filtered with all of this negative product.
And
Well,
it's,
yeah.
and it's
And
poison
negative-
with sugar.
And they don't see it.
No.
They don't see it.
It's unfortunate, but you know what? You just have to pray, and hopefully they will come to, you practice what you preach, and then, eventually they'll see how healthy you are, and they'll perhaps get on that wagon. They're not going to get there
17
until they're
years.
ready.
I told them I only have about 3 more years to go, so I'm hoping for the best.
Well, it's all about that. But you know what? Since we're going to be leaving shortly, oh shucks, another week has gone by.
Yes.
I think next week, I was thinking about kidney disease and hypertension. But before that, anything planned for next week, this week, or what have you, or wrapping up, or in terms of cancer? We can talk about cancer for a few more minutes.
Well, like, if you're going to talk about hypertension, what kidney disease?
Yeah.
Most people that have cancer have hypertension.
They
have kidney disease.
And it leads to a whole lot of stuff. So this is going to be interesting because I'm one
Cancer's
of those
like
people,
a full umbrella.
This is true. But you know what? When I was looking, and in terms of lung diseases, and I know your sister had just passed away from a lung disease, which was sarcoidosis, which when I looked over at it, I didn't realize that it wasn't a cancer, but it kind of acts like a cancer, but it's more like an autoimmune disease. So we will be talking about autoimmune. I'm going to have my girl Tanisha back, and talk about autoimmune diseases and all that kind of stuff. So we will be doing a whole lot and, sharing a whole lot. I know tomorrow we're going over to the Lifestyle Center, and we're going to be getting some information out there. If you all want to join us, it's over on 33rd, what is the address? 33-14 on Queens Boulevard in Long Island City. And if you want to call us and get some information, you can call 917-579-5221, and we will give you the information a little better. And that's 33 and it starts 11 to 3, and you can see what we're doing over there. And I know you're having your cancer.
Right, tomorrow on Body Shop TV from 2 to 4 at Madhouse, we'll be talking also about cancer tomorrow.
Right, and
we have a 2-hour show.
Right.
So I'm going in.
You're going in?
Yeah, they're going to send out the troops for me.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you came out.
But I'm going to wear a wig.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really glad everybody came out today and supported us, and
Thank you
and
for
we shared a
inviting
little
me.
bit about the cancer.
No, it's great
and
because
what have
no
you.
one talks about it,
Yeah.
and everybody walks around in fear. You know what? I think that when people live in fear, it's because when you don't have any knowledge, you don't know the basics. When knowledge goes up, fear goes down, and fear is what drives the market.
Yeah.
That's the first thing the doctor does. He scares you.
Well, they said
Got
they
it
had
just in time.
400,000 people went on Earth Day. They went out, they marched, they expressed themselves as a group, and you never really had union members discuss health issues.
Yeah.
And now you have them
Everybody's
walking
talking
and
about it.
marching and saying, enough is enough, let's stop this pollution, let's stop this with our foods. Our intakes are being destroyed, and we're still eating.
The biggest cancer is corporate America.
Yeah. It's scary. I know we were talking a little bit about,
That's another issue
what
in
is it,
itself.
the coffee and all that kind of stuff. They feed us free coffee. They feed
Free
us,
coffee, free caffeine. They'll give you that because it suppresses your appetite, makes you work hard. Put you in a gray wall, you're like...
What do they have also? The cookies and all the cakes and everything that you can go in there and get all
Every
this
party
really
you go
good
to, everybody's got big juicy cakes.
Oh, wow. But you know what? We just have to take care of ourselves and do the right thing. We know what's right? So we have to start focusing ourselves and then make an example of ourselves.
Well, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Make an example.
We do. You have to live by example.
Yeah.
People go, what are you doing? Because
Yes.
you look healthy.
So in terms of, we got to go in a few minutes, and right now. And, but again, thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Dean.
And
Thanks for
really
having me,
appreciate
Dean.
it. Thank you
so much.
Thank
I feel so
you.
honored.
And it was great. So next week, come on out and see us again, and Passion for Life with Dee and Friends.
What are you talking about next week?
Kidney
Kidney?
disease, hypertension.
Hypertension in kidneys?
Yeah.
Mmm.
Okay.
Kidneys are delicious, aren't they?
And yeah. Well, no, not that kind. So Bye, and see you next week.